even move in the direction of your political goals. I just want to see if I can understand.
Tale as old as time, song as old as rhyme, a white male trying to explain our oppression to us. Listen, white male, feel free to vote for whoever you want to vote for. I'm not here to vote or shame anybody. I am going to say that I voted third party for president because this isn't just about Palestine, and I feel like Palestine is it's becoming a very short-sighted issue. And while we're here, we're not going to skip over how Chaperone publicly said that she's voting for Harris while she doesn't like what's going on in Palestine, and people still got mad at her for that. So this is very much turning into don't criticize the Democrats. And me, being a Minnesotan, I also have issues with Tim Walz and the authorization of Line 3. So since I have more than just one issue with the current Democrats running for president, I voted for Claudia de la Cruz. With that being said, Jill Stein is also being put on a pedestal, but we've known Jill Stein for a long time versus these other candidates except for Carnell West. And it's like, I see, with us also knowing Carnell West, I see Jill Stein being like the new white woman archbishop of representing everything that the liberals hate. And like a part of me is here for it, and the other part of me is like, well, she's a white woman, so I'm not going to vote for her either, so it's whatever. But to circle back around, how about we just all stop voter shaming? I feel like that would be like the best thing for all of us, because people should vote their values. And if your values align with Kamala Harris, vote for that bitch. I don't give a fuck. If your values align with third party, vote your fucking values. And also, I feel like people are trying to erase how people voted for Hillary. Like, Hillary won the popular vote. People did fucking vote for her. I voted for Hillary. And Trump still won because of the Electoral College. So instead of trying to constantly punch your neighbors, how about you actually punch up on these institutions that are actually responsible for this bullshit that we've gotten into? Because, last time I checked, the Republicans haven't won the popular vote in at least 20 years. I'm also going to continue to clock this delusional propaganda that people who vote third party believe that voting is going to lead to a revolution, when all of us who actually participate in revolutionary acts know that there's no such thing. At no point in history was a revolution voted in. Revolutions are by us, the people. No politician will ever want a revolution because revolutions don't benefit politics. We're just out here voting our values, and y'all are just mad about it. Also, I noticed that these vote shame campaigns are very majority, if not all, led by housed people, when none of you have anything to say to us homeless people, especially those of us who have been homeless for decades. I am not that far away from being homeless for about 20 years now. So regardless of who the president has been, I have always been shit on, but I'm sure you're going to feel very comfortable telling me how things can get worse. Newsflash, things are already bad for me because people don't care about homeless people. I am literally the most villainized, marginalized, vulnerable demographic. No matter who the president is, I am going to get shit on. I don't have a reason to not vote my values. This whole voter shaming conversation has really just been housed people bickering with each other while y'all continue to not give a fuck about your unhoused neighbors. How many Americans are one missed paycheck away from being homeless? How many homeless Americans are plus 55? How many unhoused people are documented unhoused, which means they are sheltered in some way, like in a shelter or something, in your state? How many unhoused people are there in the United States overall? Now that last one is a trick question. You're not going to know the answer to that one because it is estimated that about a third of unhoused people are also unsheltered, therefore they don't get accounted for. They can be off the grid in rural areas, living what we're going to call an alternative lifestyle, even though, that's how the natives lived and shit. And or living out of their vehicle, or they don't do the surveys that people sometimes do about homelessness and stuff like that. And for a slave owner, as our forefathers were, they knew that us still being in a two-party system all this time later, if this species or this society continued, would be a bad fucking idea, because it just added up to shit like this, where somebody who shouldn't even be allowed to run for president is running for president, and then people can justify fear-mongering other people into voting for who they want to vote for, rather than we as American citizens getting what we want and need. And all this online discourse and bickering is going to add up to is people going to the polls and voting for whoever they want to vote for. So y'all are really bickering for nothing. And as long as you still have a stable roof over your head and you still have your basic needs met, you don't have a reason to care.